Hello, you. Oh, there it is. Hello, YouTube. Live feed, live video. Everybody in the chat room. It's Dave, Jim, Christopher Kinney. And I'm looking for my folder of photos. I thought I would just push it out live. No, not that. What's going on here? It's being funny. Seriously? Where is it? I thought I could show some pictures. Camera roll, phones, pictures, websites. OneDrive, video.
Can you guys hear us? Sound check. 1, 2. Sound check.
Yeah, I've got a chat room over here somewhere.
Yeah, you do.
Speak up, Dave. Sorry, I'm kind of talking to everything else except you guys. I'm kind of, you know how you talk to yourself when you're
Yeah. Usually
Mumbling.
right before you go crazy.
Yeah.
My dad was that way right before we institutionalized him. I'm joking, of course.
I sometimes
I'm
feel
joking.
There it is. No, that's in.
Although he could have stood to be institutionalized at one point. Man, he was crazy. I love my dad, but he got a little crazy. Yeah, Dave was quiet on purpose, guys. He was channeling his inner voice.
Yeah.
I need to put my headphone extension device underneath the desk. Kind of mount it up underneath there, so I can just plug
Right
it
on the edge.
Yeah, right on the edge. Just plug it right in.
Mine's on my boom, my mic boom.
So at work we use ESD wrist straps, and there's brackets that have those jacks right on the edge of all the tables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Walk up, plug in, and you're grounded.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I need, is just to be grounded. If I could just get grounded every day.
Just grounded.
Could just get grounded. That would be
That's
awesome.
why you keep the misses around.
To keep you grounded.
Hey, Chris, pull your camera down a little bit so we get your head closer to the top there. Perfect. Well, no, a little bit more. Well, hold on.
Like that?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. That way your lower third doesn't cover you up.
Cuts down on the glare off my forehead, too.
A little bit.
I could shut off.
Hey, it's happening to all of us, man. Happening to all of us.
Oh, that's too dark.
Okay.
Very cold up there?
Yeah, today was cold. It's starting to warm up. We're supposed to be by Sunday, like around 40.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're talking 50s here. 49 on Saturday. And I'm like, that's a heat wave.
Okay.
I'm going to put on my shorts and long sleeve shirt and go running.
What's the temperature outside? See if she knows.
She was a lot louder for a while. Like we couldn't hear that.
19.
She said it was
I can
partly
plug it
cloudy
in
in
over here.
Indiana.
But she wouldn't be on camera.
Got to get her closer. Got to get her own mic.
Ooh.
We could mic her up.
Little clip on.
Let's see if she's... Okay, Ubi. What's the temperature outside?
Portsville, Indiana. It is currently partly cloudy. 19 Fahrenheit.
There you
Ubi.
go. Ubi.
Ubi.
The thing is, you didn't ask her what it was like outside, just the temperature. She gave you too much information.
Yeah. It's been like 19 all day. 19. Okay, we gotta go.
Let's do it.
Did you both have the OneNote,
Yep.
Chris?
Staring at it.
This gives
The
you
only
a
one I
little-
see is it the one for 279?
275.
Oh, 275.
There's notebooks, tabs, then pages.
Yes. I have the notebook 275.
Okay. Still gotta.
Little hitch. Do me a favor,
little
Chris.
hitch in the giddy up.
Drop your video quality from full HD down just a notch. You know how to do that?
Okay. Do I do that in my settings?
Yeah,
There's
go up to
a-
the toolbar up here.
Yeah.
There's
Along the
bars. It
top.
looks like
Looks like your phone bars.
phone bars.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
click that. It's probably set to auto HD. Just click it down a notch and
Click
let's
your
see if
bars.
that.
There.
I don't think you're sending HD anyways, but that'll keep Google Hangouts from trying to send it.
Says it's set on medium now.
Okay.
And that'll take a little
yeah.
bit to.
Yeah, medium was fine.
Yeah, I did check my down was 50 gig and my up was 2.
Well, 2's not great. 5's better for this, but that helped. That helped a lot. We
did.
heard that whole sentence. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What did I do with that? Hang on. Crap. So the YouTube is going to be really boring up until now. Okay, here we go. I'll hit. This is the Home Server Show, episode number 275, recorded on January the 14th, 2015. It's the CES 2015 wrap-up. Welcome back to the Home Server Show. I'm your host, David McCabe. I am joined by Mr. Jim Collison and a special guest, Mr. Christopher Kinney. How you doing, guys?
Greetings, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Hey, Jim.
Good to see you. Happy New Year. First time behind the mic for me since the 1st of January and since CES.
And you made it to CES. That's good this year.
I did.
You got
I
there.
did.
Yeah.
So I had a good time. Completely wiped me out. I mean, done. Stick a fork in me. I was so tired that week, but we'll talk about that. We're going to try to wrap up a little bit of CES, but I need to tell you a couple things. Follow Home Server Show on Twitter. So that's at Home Server Show. You can find Mr. Jim Collison at JCOLLISON. And Chris Kinney, you can find him. He's our forums admin at homeservershow.com/forums, but he's also on Twitter at CSKinney, KENNEY. All that information will be in the show notes on this post on homeservershow.com. And don't forget, we are part of the Geeks Network. TheGeeksNetwork.com is there a podcast in you. So this week's episode is going to be sponsored by Amazon. Amazon Trade-In. I'll tell you a little bit about that later in the show. But first, guys, we've got some information to kind of breeze through. And, you know, I don't want to rush on the CES stuff, but I know people get sick of it, and I don't want to. I make a promise every year that I promise we will not go like into February doing rehash of CES. I mean, I'm already tired of saying those 3 letters. So don't go anywhere, guys, listening to the show and the podcast and participating in the forums and stuff. We're not going to like beat this horse to death. I promise you. We may have to do 2, or maybe next week will be like a halvesy. So I lost my OneNote. We're doing show notes in OneNote this time. So, but we do have some news. So, guys, the first link I found in TechNet, and that's a server storage guide. And it's pretty cool. It's a really good read. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at this prior to the show.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's okay if you didn't.
Yes.
It is. It's so much information. I literally kind of just need to give everybody the link and say go to the show notes, because it's like a blog post with just links in it, right? It's really crazy. It's really crazy. So Windows Server technical preview. It's a storage survival guide. It's really cool. It was released in December. I say that last year. It was released last year, but that was only a month ago. Really cool links in it for us to actually we could like rehash every link. We could like create 3 or 4 different podcasts.
Yeah, 3 or 4. You could go a whole year.
I
mean,
know.
there is a gigantic amount of links in there.
You really could.
Yeah, you really could.
You really could.
So it looks like it was written by Stutzman.
Exactly. He'll have podcasts he'll have videos on all of them shortly.
Yep. Is he in the chat room? If someone's listening, video stuck on Chris. Someone tell Dave, video stuck on Chris. So hey, YouTubers, sorry about that. You just stared at Chris, nodding like this during all.
Maybe the best looking of the 3 of us, anyway. So
it's better, right? It's better. If you don't know Stutzman, when we refer to John Stutzman, he is a moderator out there at homeservershow.com forums. He's kind of like the microserver guru out there. Although he's getting a run for his money. There's a lot of microserver guys out there in those forums. So,
Dave, let me say on this, Microsoft's making a real run at storage spaces and storage services as being the future for what they're doing on the server end. And they've kind of committed to it internally in a lot of ways. And I think a year ago, we kind of laughed off storage spaces. I mean, it kind of, it's slow, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And I think some of those things are true. They're still true in 2012 are too. But I think you're going to see in Server 10 a better version of it. And they're seriously committed to this. So I don't think that's going away. I mean, I think that's going to be their drive pooling options going forward it's going to look a little different even as we move to Azure. So it's just, local looks one way, Azure's going to look even more different. So in that document, there's quite a bit of where they're talking about it in there. So if you haven't looked at storage spaces in a while, you might want to, and you're interested in this would be a great guide to go out to and read. There's a lot of information about it out there.
it's maturing.
It is. They've had some time with it and some quiet time with it, right? They haven't really been pressured with it. They kind of quit on it back in our day. Drive extender, blah, blah, went away. And then quietly, they've been working on it behind the scenes without necessarily a lot of pressure, because a lot of companies did something else or have been doing something else. And so they've been kind of able to slowly just kind of push this thing along without a lot of pressure on them or a lot of press.
Yeah, I hope Windows 10 does a little more for the product. I hope that storage sense, I know I've said that several times that I'm excited for that. It's because I bought a small tablet, a Windows tablet, and the micro SD slot is, it's pretty useless. You can't expand the storage. You can store your music and your documents and whatnot out there, but honestly, you can only install a couple of applications on these little bitty tablets. So you need a product like what was promised in, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but storage sense is supposed to address a couple of those little problems where you can like move things. Like on certain Android phones, you can download an app and you can say, put that app on my SD card. My phone's full. That's what I'm talking. That's what we need.
Right.
That's a good step for me. And then the storage spaces, as you're referring to, kind of like drive extender.
Drive extender, drive pooling.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. Yeah.
Pooling. All right. Well, speaking of trying to mimic Windows Home Server, Veeam, I think I'm saying that correctly, Veeam Endpoint Backup has promised that it's going to be that, although I don't know if they're there yet. We had a big hoopla about Veeam Endpoint Backup going on beta and being free and being able to do all these certain things. And those betas, those keys have been sent out. So if you signed up for Veeam Endpoint Backup beta, you should have gotten a key and been able to try it. Now there's a post in the forums about a whole bunch of guys talking about it, and I don't even know where that left off. I know a lot of guys had said that there were some questions behind it, and it's not working exactly like they wanted to, but it's, it's a beta. So we'll have to get into that thread, and I'll put that thread in the show notes. Did either one of you guys try out the Veeam?
No, I got it, and I just didn't get time to install it.
No, I haven't messed with it at all.
You haven't messed with it? I think I have it. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I have it installed. I wasn't going to install it because it put in a version of SQL. It needed to run its own DB. So, when it puts that micro SQL on your PC and asks you to reboot, and it's just already, I'm just going, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
this is a production PC. I can't do that. So,
exactly.
So I guess we need some time with Veeam Endpoint Backup. But if that's something that's floating your boat, if you're running it, please get out in the forums. We need to talk about that.
So I see the last post in this topic is actually from Drashna, who's in the chat room now. He seems to have a little bit of knowledge on it. He's commented it's slow, resource intensive.
Oh yeah, that's all everybody's been saying for the last 2 years, right? I mean and it is, right? It's got some. I'm not saying it's great at this point. I'm just saying Microsoft's making a commitment to it, right? They are, whether they hold to that commitment or not is yet to be seen. But they're making investments in it. Again, I wasn't speaking to its performance, but it's not the fastest ship in the fleet. Let's just say that.
Hey, sometimes you don't need to be. Sometimes
really
an oil
don't.
tanker is what you need.
Yeah, right? And I think the average guy doesn't need it, right? I mean, there are other options that are a lot easier, and we've covered those here with StableBit and DrivePool and those kinds of things. But I looked at it when I built the 2012 box, my new 2012 box that'll go into production. When I built that, I looked at it, and I just kind of went, I don't know. It's just DrivePool's easier. StableBit, DrivePool. It's just easier, right? And it's got some nice little graphs, and it's a couple clicks, and you're in business. And it's,
as Zadler would say, it's got eye candy.
It does have some.
Looks nice. It does its job.
It does. It's $20.
It's $20. It's got a dashboard.
That's 3 cigarettes.
And you can put it on. You could make a Windows 8 server with just shares.
Yeah.
And you could still throw that thing in there with 10 hard drives, and you could pool everything. You don't have to have a server. Just have a Windows 7 box,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so much more fun to say you have a server, though.
It is.
Well, and the licensing implication is there too, right? If you're gonna buy all that licensing.
That whole stigma, it's about out the door, fellas. It's about out the door. The home server. I mean,
Right.
we're gonna 2015. I literally do not know what's going to be the main topic at the end of this year. Is it going to be, how I replaced my Windows Home server or my Essential server with X, fill in the blank,
I know, Dave, I know a lot of guys. We've got some stuff in the show notes, but I know a lot of guys who've moved, they're putting Windows Home servers on the shelf and fill in, Synology, QNAP, whatever there, and they're going production. They're going production on that. So that's been a real
look at this
super
right here behind me, this little white box. Whoop, right over here behind the finger.
Those look like a bunch of cassette tapes taped together, by the way. That's what that really is.
Okay, that's here.
Oh, okay.
That is.
Okay.
There's a story behind this.
All right.
This looks like it would sit on a cocktail table at CES Unveiled, wouldn't it? Doesn't it look like that's what it would sit? Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. I wouldn't call that a giveaway item, but
yeah.
You
got it.
I opened my backpack, fell right in.
I hate it when that happens.
Fell right in.
Yeah.
I'll address that small crime later.
Yeah.
Start covering CES.
So you originally started to point at that. What is it, Western Digital?
It's a Western Digital My Book or whatever you call it, Cloud Book or something.
Yeah.
My Cloud. Oh, shoot. There's a
Well, it was
cable. Okay,
it was
that
a
lost power. But no, actually, the thing is I keep the power plugged in there because if you unplug it, it'll get lost. It'll get lost somewhere in the house, and so I keep it like that.
Yeah. Good call.
You know what the funny thing is I've had this for a year. I've never plugged it in. So this is going to go in the. I'm going to have a clearinghouse.
It's a meetup giveaway item.
No. I'm
It's
not
about
giving
time to
that
start
away.
planning the next meetup, by the way.
I'm selling that. Somebody needs to buy that from me. I got to finance. I'm broke. I bought too much stuff over the last year. I'm broke. Where were we? Oh, I was going to tell you, talk about trading in your server. A lot of folks are trading in for cloud services. And I have been using and trying out this new one called Cloud HQ. So we've talked about this before. So just look back through the podcast. Look, because we're not going to completely go over it. But cloudhq.net, they've got a lot of services. This is one of those services that you've got Google Drive and you got OneDrive or something like that, and you can move things back and forth. You can not just move, but apply some intelligence to say, sync this to that, copy this to this. One of the cool things I did is I have a backup of my Evernote that goes to Google Drive. So every note I do in Evernote at I don't know what time of day, that note will be a PDF inside of Google Drive as soon as I do it. So kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of these out that are doing this, and it's pretty cool. It's great. It's really connecting. I think I put a note in there. Jolly Cloud is another one of those that recently added some eye candy and some reportings. Joli, by the way, Jolly, if you're interested. And they've added some eye candy from the reporting. So if you ever wanted to keep track of how much storage you have on those cloud services, it brings that report up to you when you click on. They're short. These guys here at Cloud HQ. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different connections that are available.
Yeah.
It's pretty
their
good.
big thing is these guys are pushing for the Salesforce crowd.
Right.
But they need to have something for Salesforce to connect to. So OneDrive for Business, Evernote, SugarSync, OneNote, Google Drive, that interests other folks. So that's why I tried it out. It's got SharePoint, Dropbox, Box, Gmail. Can back up your Gmail. So, and it also will peer into your services and tell you how much you have left. I can see my OneDrive says 355 GB. So, it's pretty cool. Speaking of adding things, another one that I like is Otixo. Otixo. That's another cloud in the cloud service where you can do some things. They added Flickr. So Otixo. Misspell.
I'm signed up for that too.
Otixo.com. They do a lot of cool things. Now, you want eye candy. This thing looks really cool when you sign in, and it gives you like a little file manager right there in your web browser. Very, very cool. And I'm slowly trying to sign in.
And they give you the storage info as well. So,
Yes.
50.8 gig of 58 available in my case with Dropbox.
Yeah, so I really like the Otixo. And these guys, I know I've said it before, they have apps for every mobile thing that you could possibly get. Yeah, I got copy.com, Facebook. You ever thought about maybe?
That's super handy, by the way. If you push a lot of pictures to Facebook, it is really hard to get them off Facebook en masse. And so these are the services. If you ever want to move that stuff en masse and get it off, move it maybe to Google or whatever, wherever you're keeping all your file or your photos. One of these, Otixo, Jolly Cloud, one of those, they're great at doing that. So that's one reason to have an account at one of those places.
Yeah, so they added Flickr, which I don't use Flickr, but those photo bugs, those guys use Flickr, and it would be kind of nice to, drop a copy of that into your Dropbox, your copy.com or OneDrive. So, yeah, Maybe I should set up a Facebook and copy that into OneDrive.
There you go.
The 3
So
photos I
Tixo-
posted on Facebook.
Well, Tixo, you can use it for free, but you can only transfer one file at a time, it says.
Yeah.
Oh, is
And then
that?
if you want to get,
Yeah.
like Jim was saying, moving lots of stuff, you got to start paying for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the thing is, though, you can choose. You can pay by the month. Let's say you're trying to clean up, start fresh, 2015, and you don't want to, like, you're going to dump Box or you're going to dump Dropbox and move to OneDrive. What a mess that would be. But you pay $5 for a month, and you just go, "What? It's done."
Yep. Get what you need and move on.
Yeah.
Less than the price of a coffee at Starbucks.
There you go. Everything's compared to a coffee. Coffee at Starbucks. Recent deals on the homeservershow.com forums. There was this huge 3-pack of 3 terabyte red drives on Newegg, and it was $300, and that thread kind of blew up. It's not there anymore. I'm just kind of reminding you guys, stay abreast of the deals on homeservershow.com forums, because you never know when the Scoon Dog or, myself, even Jim has thrown some deals out there. Well, when you find them. Chris, you're more admin. I don't see you in the deals.
There
do
for
I?
a while I was posting some deals, but ever since Kevin got real active in our forums, I can't beat him to the punch. He seems to find them before me.
He goes pretty fast.
Only time you can beat Schoonover is when he's on an airplane, and hopefully he's not connected.
Even then, if he's got Wi-Fi, he'll
then.
just smoke you.
Yeah, he told me he's in Denver now. He's probably listening, so I have to find him out in the chat room. By the way, if you'd like to watch the show live, I'll tweet it out, and you can. There's 15 guys out there right now. Tony Rayner, AW Rayner in the forums. He's always putting some deals out there. He'll find the cloud deal or something. So always
He
good.
posts
to
a
find
lot
it.
of stuff that maybe is a free copy of something lately or things like that. So.
Yep. Okay. I recently put a deal out there. I've been cratering. Can't speak. My I'm looking at it over here. My broadcast server. It's a Core i3. Now the reason it's a Core i3, which some people would say, "Dave, that's dumb. It's a broadcast server. You need some power." Which, yes, you're correct. I took my Core i7, and it's now my Windows Essential server with virtual machines running in it. I needed some power. I needed RAM. So that was a smart move. I took my old 2011 home server, which is an i3, and I repurposed it as my truck. I call it a truck. It's my PC that I need to do heavy lifting with, right? But it's an i3, so not much heavy lifting with the i3. And it's time. I don't know, Ubi.
It's listening to you. Ubi thought you called it.
Yep.
Okay, can I help you, Ubi? She thought I called her.
Ubi,
Heavy
make
lifting.
me a rum and coke.
Let me try that. Okay, Ubi. Make me a rum and coke.
I would guess it is a mix of that and.
Okay. She's that odd person that you bring out when you go out to the bar. Yeah, Ubi. She's not a big drinker, guys. So what we're talking about is theUbi is back there. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Where was I? Oh, my i3. So this motherboard that's in this PC is like 14 or 15 years old. I don't know. It's the first iteration of this type, and it's a LGA 1156. I don't know what you call that. Bus, Intel socket package. Yeah. So there's not many CPUs out there anymore for that. So I put you can put help wanted or wanted ads in these forums, and that's what I did. I said, hey, anybody have an LGA 1156 Core i5 or Core i7? I'd rather have an i7, but I would take an i5 interim.
And people are stumbling over themselves to offer one up?
Exactly. That's how popular these things are. I figured I would find, someone who had, a processor and might not even know it. I don't know. You
I'm
never
guessing
know.
Shoondog hasn't seen the post yet. He's probably got one sitting in the closet.
Yeah, these, the PC upgraders. Maybe Mike Fauché. Maybe he's got one hanging out somewhere. We could
Maybe
do
he probably had a liquidation when he moved though, so he might
It's
be
true.
low on supplies.
It's true. Well, I need some liquidation over here. I need some liquidation. Synology updates. All you guys running Synology. They've had an update. It went from 5.1 ... something update 2 to a real serial number 5.1.5021 or something like that. So there's an update. Security fixes, bug fixes. Make sure you're checking your disk station manager on your Synology boxes, because you can actually have it email you. If you dig through the settings, it will email you when there's an update ready. So you don't have to. You can apply them automatically if you want to, but I kind of like to know. I like to dig through there and see what they address before I hit the go button. Also gives you a little time.
There, a few months ago, there was a security vulnerability that everyone pretty much had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the specific one was, but QNAP at the same time as Synology, they were both rolling out multiple security updates and system updates to patch those in as quick as they could.
Yeah, there's been two. There was the SSL thing way back, and then there was another vulnerability within the open source community that these guys use, and they had to patch that up real quick. So I try to jump in there and tell you guys, but
they were serious enough from QNAP standpoint that they were actually sending emails out to the registered users to make sure that they knew that those updates were out there. Because on the QNAP system, the way I'm using mine, it tells you when you go into the desktop. But if you're just using it on a daily basis, you wouldn't get the notice otherwise. So I'm sure I could set it up for the email notices like you were talking about if there's an update, but I don't have it configured that way either.
Well, and most folks don't get into that dashboard,
Right.
Especially your non-technical types who have just purchased a NAS for some backup. They don't go into the dashboard and mess around. Then once you get it going, it's there. You just leave it alone. So set up the notifications. All right, so this is time it. Okay, Ubi. Set a timer for 1 minute.
Let me check my log files. Please wait.
Oh my God, what's she doing? Checking your log files.
Let me check my log files.
Yeah, log files.
Playoffs? We ain't going to no playoffs.
Okay, Ubi. Set a timer for 1 minute. Maybe if I talk to her.
That's probably it.
One what?
One what?
Okay, Ubi. Set a timer for 1 minute.
Ubi's a little slow.
She doesn't understand Dave's accent.
Files. Please wait.
It's that Wisconsin accent that gets you every time.
What's Ubi doing? I did this earlier today.
I know. You test it and it still doesn't work.
Okay,
It's a
Ubi.
Texas accent that's throwing it off.
What time is it?
It is currently 8:49 p.m.
Okay, I'm going to set this for 8:51. Okay, Ubi. Set an alarm for 8:51 p.m.
I want one of these things where you don't have to talk unnatural to it.
8:51
You know.
p.m.
Okay, we got it.
All
So
right,
I did this. I'm talking to Ubi back here, but I did this for a 1 minute ad. So I've come up with this. This is going to be a Geeks Network thing. You're going to do a 10-second intro and a 1 minute ad. Today's ad is from Amazon. So I bet you might not have known this, but Amazon has a trade-in program. So you can not only trade in books or electronics, but you can trade in movies, books, textbooks, video games, music. You can trade in music. So I'm going to give you a link on the show notes. It's Amazon trade-in. You can trade in all that old electronics, you name it. They have not just like tablets, but you can trade in phones, electronics. I mean, I've seen people trading in hard drives. Why you trade in a hard drive? I don't know.
Reminder, alarm going off.
There it goes. Ubi, reminder, alarm going off. So Amazon trade in all your old stuff. It's 2015. Clear it out. Click the link in the show notes. Amazon trade-in. So that's Ubi, by the way.
So Dave, do you think they take this 250 gig hard drive if I send it to them? And I also have I've also got kind of a touch cover back here that came from the old, from the Surface. From the Surface 2 days, I'm not using anymore.
Now
So
that you might try.
Maybe I can try that. My daughter, I upgraded her to a touch or to a type
Keyboard. Yeah.
type keyboard. So maybe we can
Touch
try that
keyboard.
on Amazon trade-in. I'll have to give it a shot.
Okay.
She used the heck out of this thing. I'm just gonna say, this is the wrong show. Sorry.
That's next show. Surface.
We'll talk
So you're
about it
listening
next
to Ubi. Ubi was one of my. Oh, sorry, Ubi. Please go back to what you were doing.
Okay, Dave.
Same as always, chatting on the internet.
Okay, so she's busy. Okay, see, here's the problem. There were two problems, actually, with Ubi. Oh, shit. She didn't hear me. Okay. So she sets
Can't talk.
a Wi-Fi hotspot in on her, so you can connect to it and configure it, right, for the first time.
Right.
The hotspot is called UBI, and I'm running Ubiquiti wireless access points, and I just shortened it for UBI. So that's my wireless access points. Problem number one. Second problem's a little more difficult. I have a dog by the name of RUBY. Ruby. So sometimes if you say the dog's name, Ubi back here, she pipes up and says, "What do you want?" I do not know. She'll always say, like, "I do not know what 'damn it dog' means,"
So you can't change the name that you call her?
I haven't found out yet.
Okay.
Because the Amazon Echo thing, you can call it.
I think you can go anything you want. I hope.
Is she-
Responds to Echo.
Did she? Whoa. Okay, Echo.
I stopped.
Okay, Echo. Okay, Amazon.
Huh?
Okay, Amazon Echo. Whoa!
You found a back door.
Back door. Nice. Okay, so this thing's crazy. So Ubi, you can it's really kind of cool. I mean, the difference between this thing and Echo, Amazon Echo, is this thing will talk to your smart things setup. So if you have home automation, smart things, you can tie those accounts together, and it will you can do things by voice. Turn on the sprinkler, turn on a light, turn off a light, whatever. So I haven't done enough with this thing. It's got a huge list of commands, and you can do fax with it. Internet fax, and it's got to be relatively minor in an internet fax.
So it's only a voice interactive device?
It has an app.
Oh, okay.
It has an Android app, and I don't know if it's got iOS or not.
Play some music too. You can say, "Okay, Ubi, play some Michael Jackson."
You can, but it's getting it off of Groove Shark. So it's not your music.
Okay.
And it could be like a cover.
Yeah. Yep.
So it could be someone who's
But probably
done
not.
cover.
Groove Shark's got a lot of good music on it. I mean,
It does.
A lot of good music.
It does, but
we
you
used
can't-
to use Groove Shark for the pre-show.
You can't
music.
say, "Yo, start playlist," rock.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. That'd be
Doesn't
great with Pandora integration. Okay, Ubi, play Pandora. I want my Spanish guitar channel. Boom.
Yeah.
Brings it up. And
Yeah.
yes, I do have a Spanish guitar channel.
Spanish guitar channel.
It's my
Nice.
favorite. If you ever want to feel like you're in a hacienda in Barcelona, pull Play Spanish guitar. That's just a little tip.
Awesome.
12 string.
You know, there's people hacking this thing because it's basically an Android like phone inside that box,
Yeah.
and they've left it open, so you can remote into it and do all kinds of stuff with it. So I'm not gonna hack into it. I just want to use it. I want to try to figure it out.
So does it talk during the night if you walk by and say its name?
I'm sure
Or
it would.
can you mute it for...
I'm sure it would, but I think that you can give it nighttime hours.
Oh, okay.
It's also Nest enabled. Nest NIFTTT.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's pretty cool. What's the retail on this, Dave?
This is $299.
Ooh, that's a little steep.
She's a little expensive.
Wow. Cost of early adoption.
Early adoption.
Yowza.
It is big. You know, while everybody waits on their Echo to arrive,
Yeah.
you know, I've got UBI sitting back here.
She's on the ready.
Don't worry, Ubi. I'm just doing a show.
Did you hear her? She said there's no need to apologize. Oh, yeah. We're going to mic Ubi up.
You should. I'm telling you, we should get a mic for Ubi and have her join the podcast. I think that would be awesome.
I asked her, like...
A mic and a speaker so she can hear what people are saying.
Yeah. Okay, Ubi. Have you heard of the Home Server Show?
Oh, Master, if only I knew about the home server show.
I guess not.
Did
I
she
guess
call you
not.
master?
Oh,
She did.
master.
I
like
have
it.
not taught her to say, you know, like...
David.
I don't...
Oh, David.
Like Cortana. Whoa.
Oh,
Wait.
David. You know that. Go ahead.
Okay, Cortana.
No.
No, she didn't.
How about Siri?
Okay, Siri. Okay, Google.
Wow.
Sorry.
Interesting.
Go back to what you were doing there. Oops. Okay, we're gonna have way too much fun with Ubi.
Bring Ubi. I did get my Echo ordered, and it's saying April. I think everybody ordered it that same day. April 30th is when when they're going to ship the next round.
I ordered it later in the day because I was in Vegas at the time and I couldn't do it. And just a few hours later, mine slipped to like May something.
Oh wow.
So you guys are gonna beat me.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
asked for the invite, but haven't got one yet.
We'll
Oh, you
see.
didn't get one.
We'll see. Yeah. Well, sorry about that, Chris.
That's all right.
Okay.
It's not everything it's cracked up to be.
Right.
Just throw $99 into the wind, and it's about the same feeling.
We do that. I do that daily,
Yeah.
basically. So back into some storage. On the Synology side, Synology has a new surveillance station, and this is the station that hooks up. You know, you hook cameras into it, and it still has the 2-camera license limit on their new surveillance station. But you can buy a pack of camera licenses if you need to, or you can do like I'm doing. I have multiple Synology boxes in my house. And you can kind of, I don't know, group them together. You can put 2 cameras on one, 2 cameras on another, 2 cameras on another, and so on and so on. And then you can tell one box to be like the headmaster, the big box. And it'll go get those other cameras, bring it in, and it will present them to you on that Synology box or on the application. And you won't even know the difference. It's just presenting them to you. It was kind of cool because when I was remote in Vegas, I could jump on the cameras and I could look all around the house. Just, you know, see where the heathens were, see where, you know, they're watching TV, eating dinner, you know, whatever they were doing. So it was kind of cool. So there's a new beta out, and I even ran some techno babble through Chris. This was prior to Christmas, I think, Chris. We were working with that camera.
Yep.
So I'm trying to get to a system where I can get smart things in Synology surveillance station to kind of work together. So that's my goal. And Chris, I kind of got it. I fed back to you like the camera I was using had an alarm input and output, so it's a 4-pin, and it had, I think, was it a 5-volt and a 12-volt maybe trigger? I know it was a 5-volt. I don't know if it had the 12-volt. So I was really scared to like loop the trigger back into the camera. I didn't want to do that, and so I showed it to Chris, and he's like, "Nah, loop that thing in there. It'll trigger that camera right off." And sure enough, I did that. I took some Cat 5. Pulled out the blue, white, blue, stripped them back, put them in there, and just tapped it. Boom, it starts recording. I was like, yay! So,
yeah, that camera had a 5-volt power supply in it, and the input you wanted to use could handle from 5 up to 24 volt as an input. So you were safe. You weren't going to hurt anything, but you needed someone to tell you that. So.
I did. I didn't want to. Well, I'd have taken it back to Fry's. This camera didn't work. Daggone it. But it was the last one when I went to Fry's, and I was wanting to test this.
I think they only sell one of everything at Fry's.
Why is that?
When
they have an SSD sale, there's always
one.
empty. And I found it behind another stack of cameras. So some Yahoo stashed it. Okay, Yahoo. Okay, she didn't care about that.
They put one on the shelf so that you think, oh, I've got to buy it. This is the last one there. And then as soon as you walk through the register, the stock guy brings another one out and puts
exactly.
it on the shelf.
Yeah.
They have the
he
guys
goes
that
to the
just
cage.
restock the shelves all day with one item.
Yeah. But it's a good camera. It's a D-Link camera. I've got D-Link in my CES follow-up, but so the whole big thing here with Synology Surveillance Station is to link it with my SmartThings, which is Z-Wave Zigbee based. So if there was a door opened while the system was armed, which like away mode or night mode, I would want a Z-Wave trigger to be sent to a specific device, and that device would relay, and it would trip that 5 volts into the camera. So when that 5 volts trips into the camera, that camera starts recording. Well, the new surveillance station allows you to put logic on cameras. So I was able to say, okay, if camera 1 records, camera 2 through 6, I want you guys to record for 15 minutes, no matter what. Just open and record. So that way, if bad guy enters door and he's hauling buns, the alarm went off, I triggered a horn, I triggered the cameras, I triggered lights, etc. Let's say maybe he pulled up real slow in front of the house and didn't trigger a camera or something. But opening that door, he triggers the alarm, all cameras go into record mode. I don't have to wait for movement to record bad guy running away, right? I just got my cameras open. They're recording. So if he crosses any path on his flight to freedom, I got him. Now, that may not be important to you, but that was a step in my journey to find a replacement for my alarm system that is on the wall that's inactive. We have one of those alarm system that is, you buy a house, it's on the wall. All you got to do is call Brinks or something and pay, ungodly amounts of money per month. Put a phone line into it, more money, in order to have them call you. Your alarm went off. Yeah, sorry, it was me. I can do that.
So you're using SmartThings. Did you look at the SmartThings stuff when you were at CES? They've got a new hub they're going to come out with?
I did.
Okay.
Did you see the new hub?
I saw some information on it. It's got battery backup, and it's also got cellular connection, I think, abilities, so that if the internet goes down, it can go up through 3G or something.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the biggest complaints about SmartThings is not only just the internet going down, but even SmartThings going down being an issue, which that's probably still going to be an issue. But if your internet goes out, then your home security is shot. Because your app communicates to SmartThings, which communicates to your hub.
All right.
So it's out. Now, you and I, we know how important this is. We put a battery backup. We plug SmartThings into a battery backup. We plug our Insteon hubs into a battery backup. We know this. And but yeah, they did release news, quote unquote, that they're going to have a new hub, which is a good thing. It's going to cost me another $99, but maybe I can use the Amazon trade-in to sell my old one.
Yeah, you'd wish they had a trade-in or trade-up program, wouldn't you?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe they will. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm close. I know this is not the home automation show, but you got to listen to Jim for that. He's covering that a lot. But these NASs, and I asked Synology, I was like, you guys, you need a Z-Wave trigger on this thing. You got to be talking home automation. So I've kind of got that out there, a bug in their ear to get that done. But the new beta, I can't recommend it anymore. It's awesome.
So I don't know enough about it, but I do know that QNAP has a device. One of their devices is like certified with Connect 4, which do you know what Connect 4 is?
Yes.
It's another one of these whole home control systems type things.
Correct.
So maybe I'll check into that a little bit more. I know there's a company here in town that's one of the Connect 4 authorized installers, and see what they can tell me about it. And maybe take my QNAP over there and see what they can show me.
They do. They have. They're certified with. I thought that they're also certified with another one, which is Crestron. Sorry, it blew out of my head. Control 4 and Crestron. I think you called it Connect 4. I think that's a game where you drop the little chippies in the.
Yes.
Okay. My kids would drop all the little chippies in just to drop the bottom bar and hit it crash all over the place. Control 4 and Crestron. But the problem is that's top notch.
Yes, it is.
Right? That's upper echelon. I can't get a Control 4 hub for $99, right?
Correct.
And a lamp module for another $39. There's your problem. So connecting with SmartThings, I think, is a smart way to go. Really smart way to go, especially since Samsung's bought it. I hope
an entrepreneur that could come up with a little Z-Wave trigger that plugs into a USB port on a Synology might be onto something.
That's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about.
Sounds like a job for Kevin Schoonover.
Logic back and forth. Well, I visited QNAP at CES, and I'm going to get into my CES coverage here. We're not going to do a lot, but we'll talk about it a little bit. They're AMD processor based now. They're Intel Core i processors in these things. One of them had not one, but two HDMI inputs. And the cool thing is I realized like halfway through the demo, I was like, wait a minute. There's not a PC under the desk doing this demo. It was the QNAP box, and it was a keyboard and a mouse and a 55-inch television. That was the demo. There was no PC in the middle. It was HDMI out to that TV, and they had a little keyboard RF module plugged into the USB right in the front of that QNAP box. It was the PC. It was the TV box. It was the storage manager. It was the NVR. It was everything. Everything that the QNAP does was right there in front. I probably tons of people just totally blow by that. Yeah, big deal. But that's big to me. That's big to me.
I'm pretty sure we had the same demonstration
We
at
did.
the meetup.
You know what? And I told him about you guys. I was like, that was one of the most popular parts of the meetup is when Christopher Kinney, and I talked with Eric Oliveras from QNAP, and he knows us both by name. He knows you by name.
Awesome.
I said that was the biggest part of the demo is when Christopher Kinney started running Windows inside that NAS box. It was like, wow, blown away. It's like that was completely cool. Really cool stuff there.
Chris, which QNAP do you have?
The TS451 4-bay Intel Celeron-based device.
Okay. Just if folks are trying to follow along at home.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm not going to put any links in the show notes. I still have some things to do with my NAS visits, and I haven't done anything on QNAP yet. I've not written anything up. I've not done a YouTube video on it, but I've got a lot of pictures from the show floor. Not the show floor. They had a private suite, and I really want to get like back into the QNAP coverage, and that's why I invited Chris to kind of just jump in there with me. And man, looking at this box, it excited me. I kid you not. I'm a Synology guy, but this QNAP stuff is, what I need to do? I just need to get one. I don't have one. I got one, and I sent it to Chris. I said, you be my QNAP guy. We need a QNAP guy. So, Jim, I think maybe both of us, we should have one.
Yeah, you're probably
at least
right.
A 2-bay, maybe a 4-bay.
At least. Yeah, I've recommended QNAPs to a couple people, and they've at least one of them has picked them up and said, "Man, I really like this. Great, thanks for doing it." If you're going to go non-Intel and you want to go back on some of the older versions of it, you can get them retail now for $200 or $300. I mean, those are kind of blowing out at a pretty good price point. So, Chris, would you recommend? You got the Intel version of it, but did you test the ARM versions at all? If we go back a generation.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I had the previous one I had that was the 2-bay. I don't remember what the processor. I think that was an Atom-based processor in that one.
Okay.
And it did fine, but the one I have now is able to run that virtualization program that I demonstrated.
Right.
And we found some limitations. We tried to have 2 or 3. I had a couple of Linux variety running along with that Windows and Windows 7, and it was maxing it out. But I know now the new one, with the AMD, it's a quad core, and I'm sure they've increased the memory in it as well. So, yeah, I mean, I almost had somebody sold on buying a QNAP NAS at the meetup, and then at the end he won the Synology box.
Oh, Dave threw you under the bus, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, QNAP.
Synology wins.
No commission for me.
With a giveaway. Well, I think the one I've been looking at is that 2-bay TS231, which has got a 1.2 gigahertz ARM processor on it. And of course, that can't run these Windows things, so just full disclosure. But if you're looking to get into a NAS and you're looking to do it fairly inexpensive, $239 on Amazon. Use the Home Server Show Amazon affiliate link when you go. But that's not a bad way. $239, Dave, that's super reasonable. I mean, thinking about, right?
That's nothing.
Yeah, for a
Honestly,
NAS?
that's nothing.
Yeah.
And all of these boxes are running the same QTS operating system. So if you decided to move to a different box or whatever, it's all familiar to you. I think the Synology is the same thing, but I know QNAP likes to really advertise that, it's a common interface. You're seeing the same thing in every box. So.
Yeah, real cool system. I want to get more into it. I want to talk about that in the months to come on the podcast. I think it'll be fun. Not only that, but expanding our server coverage. So, like I've got Chris on here. I'd like to get some more guys out here talking on the podcast. So consider that an open invitation. If there's something you're running, Jim and I talk behind the scenes. We've got some server guys. We've got some migration talks coming. We got maybe some Linux. We're going to expand into that. Some of the more popular shows have been about pfSense and Untangle and things like that. So maybe we should do a little more like that. Maybe we should do. Whoa! Stop it! Now my Google Now is popped up on my phone.
It's jealous.
All this
You're
voice
talking
recognition
to Ubi
stuff.
all the
I
time.
know.
Talk to me.
The phone was like, dude, Ubi, seriously? You're replacing me?
You did say okay, Google.
I did. Okay, the phone piped up. Voice recognition systems. Go out to homeautomationforums.com. There's a new tab out there for voice recognition systems. All right,
So
CES.
Oh, sorry. Does your Samsung TV have voice recognition too?
God, I hope not.
Mine does. That's why I ask you.
Oh, really?
I don't use it. I turn it
My
off.
TVs are probably 3 years old.
Listen, my children don't even have voice recognition. So that-
Mine don't either. 5 times you're like, damn it, I got to reboot this thing. Oh, no, it's my kid. It just doesn't listen. All right, CES. I got out there last Sunday. And Sunday before, actually. It's been a week. And Jim and I, we did a live show. Had some fun.
I tried, yeah. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was okay. I was super impressed with that curved screen monitor, though, that we saw of it right off the bat. Which
Was that GE or was that a Westinghouse? I can't remember what that
I can't
was.
either. I'll have to go back and watch
It
the
was pretty
video.
nice.
But
It
I've
was-
been a big skeptic of kind of curved screens, and all of a sudden that one kind of made sense. Now, I think the refresh, but,
It was
it's that
60.
kind of... I thought it was 30.
Did he say 30? I gotta
I
gotta
think he
rewatch
did.
my stuff.
I think
I've
he
seen
did.
so many curved screens and talked about so
Yeah.
many
Oh, I
refresh
bet you
rates
have. I
since
bet you
then.
have.
Yeah.
Well, and then seeing the Surface, I mean, you got a chance to see the Surface in action at the NFL, and that's kind of cool. I mean,
That
we
was
see
cool.
those every Sunday on TV, and it's kind of pretty cool to see those, at least the kits in action.
Yeah. So we saw the server cart. So the thing is we did a live broadcast. I don't know if it went well. It was fuzzy. It was 4G.
It was a little
but
choppy.
Barely.
It was a little
very
choppy.
It was choppy for me, and I was running it.
We barely put it out. Yeah. You know why? I don't know why it is on that end. It was this way 2 years ago when I was at the Monte Carlo. The 4G from Verizon is dog. It's horrible. And we were at Mandalay Bay, and it was the same way. I stayed at Luxor. It was the same way. It was horrible. It was horrible. But I was smart. I went and bought... Actually, I didn't go and buy. I picked off of eBay for a little over $100 an LG G-Pad 8-inch tablet with 4G built into it. Added it to my plan. And... Sorry, I thought I misclicked. And that thing was rock solid for me. So, but it was rock solid on the other end of this strip. So I went on Tuesday to Synology's booth, and I couldn't start the Hangout. That's the problem. You cannot start a Hangout on the air from a mobile device.
No, you gotta have a Windows device.
Even if you request the desktop version in your Chrome browser, there's no way. Somehow they sense. They don't give you the buttons. They don't give you the clicks. You cannot do it. So, standing at the booth, I'm like, 1 second, guys. I remote desktop back home. I had a link of the shortcut on my desktop. Double clicked it, fired it up, clicked start. And then I couldn't see the video rendering, right? But I clicked start, and it said it was going. It said, Hangout going. Actually, there's a big button that says stop broadcast, so you know. And I came back into the mobile G Plus app, joined Hangout, and I just started broadcasting. And I'll be dang if it didn't work. It freaking worked. I did my interview. I remote desktop back, stopped broadcast. It went to YouTube like nothing. Like it was just no big deal. It was like Jim was sitting there. Except
And
he was
I got replaced.
he got replaced by remote desktop.
by Verizon. Got replaced.
It still wasn't that good. So what I did is I did it twice. I got the camera on the LG G-Pad, and I just went around, did the interview again, and then right there in the YouTube app, hit upload. And it uploaded. Jim, it was cool because I bring a lot of gear, right? I had a backpack and all this stuff. And I'm like, you guys got anywhere I could put all this stuff? And they're like, yeah, why don't you just take a cubby over here in our booth? So I had my own little cubby in the
nice.
Synology booth.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm kicking it with the Synology fellas.
They were good to you. They know you, right? I mean, they
do.
know you pretty well.
They do.
You've done that year after year.
And this year the booth was very close to the front. It was the top part, the South Hall Upper. I call it South Hall Upper.
Uh-huh.
And it was very close to the front doors. They let the crowd start rolling in at 9:50. I'm standing there like a cow trying to get into slaughter. And they opened it up, and I walked right up to Synology. Hey guys, how's it going? And they're like, wow, you're early. We're supposed to go at 10:30. I was there at like 9:51. So it was a good day. Tuesday was a good day. It was a tiring day, Jim. I registered 19,000 steps that day, and I was up like all night.
Yeah.
The night before, I got like zero sleep. I was wiped out, but it was fun. So we did PepCom, which I normally do. I get more contacts from Unveiled, PepCom, and Showstoppers than I do on show floor. And to be honest with you, Jim, I didn't spend that much time South Hall, Upper, Lower, and Central. I barely went into Central Hall. Barely. I spent most of my time at Sands Venetian, where they had all the home automation stuff, and they had the wearables. So who would have known, smartwareforums.com, homeautomationforums.com, that there would be so much of this new stuff at CES. So kind of hit those two topics, hit the nail on the head with those, and they were everywhere. I know you've heard about it. You're listening to the podcast. That's all you heard about at CES was wearables, home automation. It literally, it was everywhere. It really was.
I think 2015 is a year of wearables. I just think that they're going to explode this year. We had Chris Barnes on Home Gadget Geeks last week. If you missed it, we were talking about wearables, and he kind of compares the wearables from last year to the Palm Pilot, right, era. He's like, we're still not there. This is his thought with wearables. There's still a ways to go to where they become mature devices, and I agree. The band's got a little work that needs to be done. Every Samsung watch mate's got some work to be done.
Mm-hmm.
That we haven't seen what's come out from Apple yet. There's a whole bunch of other competitors from Garmin and Jawbone and you name it. Everybody's kind of in the. I'm waiting for a generic Walmart fitness band to come out.
They're there, Jim. They're there. You just have to look around.
Yeah.
There's tons of little fitness bands that just kind of do steps and that's easy. That's calculator type stuff to convert that to calories and convert that to miles. Very easy stuff. The thing is when you connect it to Twitter and when you make it actually smart, when you make the wearable, when you change it from fitness wearable to smart wearable, that's when you get into the things that I like. So it's very early. I don't even know if 2015 will hash all this out.
Well, they'll mature. I just think we're going to see a lot of good stuff this year. I've been connecting my Garmin to Garmin Connect, which connects to my FitnessPal, and man, you get some great integration. Although the holiday season took down Garmin, their servers went down for a couple days. They were having some connectivity problems. They obviously weren't ready for the onslaught, of data. But it's the kind of what you're doing. You've got steps. That's going up to Microsoft Health. You're able to track it. It helps you make some better decisions. You're making better eating decisions. I'm making better eating decisions. We're both in a negative, weight gain situation with that. And that's real life stuff, right? When it starts doing that, it's reached a level where when it's affecting people, then it's good, right? Not just to have it. The Palm Pilot was cool, but it wasn't really that. You could do a few things on it. Well, now the iPad, now you can do some stuff, right? Or the Surface or I hate to say Samsung Tab, but you can actually do some stuff. So I think we'll see a year where we get a lot more of that data.
Yeah. I think it's going to be fleshed out.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see how this Apple Watch thing plays out, and that people are going to move and change accordingly. It became more designer, the wearables did. There's like flashier, nicer looking. There was a ring on one of them, a big honking ring, and the stuff would scroll, part way around the ring. So, he would get a buzz, and he'd lift his hand and look at his ring. So, I think that's going to get flushed right out the door. But you never know; somebody could pick that up. People are just throwing ideas at the wall. Let's see what sticks.
Yeah.
There is a lot of that. So we'll kind of go over some more things. We'll save some things for next week, but I want to get a link out to you for a new domain.net. Jim, we've both written and been semi-employed for Gina Smith at a new domain.net. She pulled me over at byte.com and I wrote there for a while, and she's got a great site over at a new domain. And I did that roving reporter thing.
I saw you, by the way, on the video there.
Oh, you did?
Their video, yeah. You'd popped up to the. I was watching their fixed.
Oh, you did? You watched the live stream. Okay.
I watched the live stream with Ant and his sidekick. I forget his name.
Matt.
And
Yeah.
so I was watching that for a while, and I saw you come up to the table. I just saw the back of your head, and then you were there, and then you were gone.
So I was doing, I was kind of helping. I would, actually, I went early and walked around the booths with those guys, and we worked out, hey, let's interview these guys. Hey, let's interview these guys. Said, hey, would you like to come up to the desk? Got them time slots, and they would come up to the desk and they'd be interviewed, which was really cool. It was really fun. So I got to go out with a real camera person, not live, not fuzzy video, but a real camera, and interview. And it was really fun. And it was really stressful for me. I don't know why, because I was tired, I was malnourished, and I kept trying to remember these two sites and not say, this is Dave with Home Server Show. I was kind of out of my element. So I had to rap and say, I'm David McCabe for a new domain.net. I'm David McCabe, something like that.
Right.
And they had another website called Breaking Modern, and I would have to rap that as well. And so I'd have to do two of them, and you had to do it like professional, like TV-wise. They were like, okay, now you need to say, so we can break this for the guy who clips up the video, you'd have to say 3, 2, 1. I'm David McCabe. I'm effing it up now. It wasn't rolling off of my tongue.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm just out of my element. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I want to eat.
I just want a burger. Can you bring me a burger?
I know. And they were like,
You can
dude,
take a carrot
how many
stick."
takes are you going to make? My God.
Oh.
And when I'm on Home Server Show, I don't worry about it. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
good for these guys. They get way more traffic than I do. I'm like, holy crap, I'm either going to bomb or, I need to do good. So they invite me back. And I was really nervous, but go over to a new domain.net and search. I think you can search my name. You can search the articles that I did, the video articles that I did. I put up there. Some of them are good, but it's not like I'm not interviewing like Samsung or anything or Tesla. I mean, these are little companies, guys trying to make it. The little skateboard. Remember, Jim, that little rocket skateboard I rode that one year? They were back. I interviewed them. So go look. It's really fun. Go out and look at a new domain.net. I'll put that link in the show notes. Actually, I'll put a link to my profile. And maybe you can. Where's the chat? I'll throw it out in chat. Just see what you guys think. I threw it out in chat. See what you guys think. I guess we're done. There's all kinds of other things that we can talk about, and
We should save some stuff.
yeah, just save some stuff. I'll leave you with an embarrassing moment. So I'm good at this. I'm good at embarrassing myself. So I come from a stringent diet for the month, right? Thanksgiving to December, stringent diet. Stomach is just, it's like anything other than oatmeal, and my stomach's like, what? Right? So I get up to A Data, beautiful suite, top of the Venetian. It's pretty. They've got this layout. They've got snacks, coffee, and food. So I'm right in the middle of talking with the guy, snapping photos, and I get that feeling like, oh,
Oh, no. Gurgle,
Oh,
gurgle,
no.
gurgle.
you gurgle. Right. There's a bathroom 2 feet from me, right? No way. You can't take a dump in the A Data suite. You just
Yeah,
can't.
no, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, next. Okay, great, got it. Okay, we'll see you next year.
Oh, bummer.
So, you've heard of the term walking farts, right? Well, let's just say that I laid down a barrage that the U.S. Army Artillery
Carpet
Regiment
bomb. Carpet
would
bomb.
have been very proud of. I laid down a barrage from their suite to the elevator banks. I had to stop once because there was a girl coming down the hall with pizza. I kept walking. Boom, 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 boom.
Not me. That
was
was
fun.
not me. That was definitely not me.
Definitely not me again. Not me again.
That's whatever you're smelling. It's not me.
Not me walking. Mm-mm. So if you can't laugh at yourself,
Oh, that's awesome.
well, what's
It's when you need somebody with you, so you can be like, "Hey, can you cover this
Can you
for me?
take this?
gonna."
I've done that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Those times I go, keep talking. You
Yeah.
run off. They're like, where's Dave?
Well,
Yeah.
I missed being out there. It was hard not to go this year, but
It was fun.
yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it was a good time. I think it was good because I didn't. There were some days that I didn't bring even camera crew stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
My staff asked me, hey, how come you're not at CES this year? And I was just, you didn't have to ask, did you? So they know, even they know.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, how come you're not at CES? Well, I didn't. I just didn't get it done.
So I put a video out on the YouTube. So go to youtube.com/homeservershow. Tons of videos from CES. I put up a lot. But I brought back all of my swag. So all the stuff that you get, pens and pencils and T-shirts and stuff, and I just laid it out on the bed and I interviewed it. I just went one by one. Here, this is what I got from Newegg. This is what I got from D-Link. And I don't know, it worked out kind of good. So take a look. It's my swag video. So I'll leave you with that. And if you have questions, if you want to talk about something from CES, we've got a lot more. I mean, a lot more that we can talk about. So, thanks for joining, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Hey, don't
thanks for
forget-
having me on.
Yeah. We're a member of the Geeks Network, geeksnetwork.com. There's probably a podcast in you. Head out there to that site, and there's a contact form if you would like. I've got a couple of ideas that have floated in, and I still need to get to those. I've got, as you can imagine, coming home from CES, you're behind on everything, yet you've stacked up months and months and months and months of work to do. So I physically cannot get to it all, but I'm going to try one way or another. So that's how we start January. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in on the live stream. I'm going to hit end really quick because we're going to move over to Surface Geeks. Head over to surfacegeeks.net or .com, whatever you want. There's a live podcast button over there. The chat will show up here in Home Server Show, but the video will show up in Surface Geeks. And that guy yawning on video that doesn't think I saw it is Mr. Jim Collison. He's a Windows Home Server MVP. He's gonna be over there on Surface Geeks as well. Good night, guys.
Bye, Dave. Thanks.